This is funny. Before we start, I just verbalized what my dad, his whole mode was with me and many other people. It wasn't do what I say, it's do what I think.
Yeah, so hello. Hello, I am the mind reader, JJ, and I'm here with my husband, Eric.
That's me.
That's him. And we are here to give you our post-holiday recap and let you know how did our carnivore go? How did our recovery go? And just dig into the details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leading up to it, we had done a short that said we're planning to actually have some off-plan foods. Now, the plan is the proper human diet, carnivore, mostly for me, ketovore or keto. You also use time-restricted eating.
Correct.
So we knew going in, some of these things are by the wayside.
Yet I had already pulled some levers because leading into the holiday, we also had some meals that were off plan leading into the holiday. And I had really, one of the levers that I can pull for me is the time restricted eating. So I know I'd done, leading into the Christmas holiday, I had done a couple 24-hour fasts, which is sort of my outside fasting window, just so that I would be prepped.
Yeah.
For the food to come.
And during that whole time, I was consistent with my workouts. We do frequent long walks with the dogs, usually 45 minutes or so out in nature. And so we continued with all of that. But we did allow ourselves some off-plan meals to enjoy the holidays, some of which I probably wouldn't do next year.
So one of our family traditions is on Christmas Eve, we go to a local resort. And we have dinner there, and of course they have all of the decorations and the gingerbread contest.
They have the lights along the entryway. It's a very long driveway, like a mile long, and they have these little lights for each one of the 12 days of Christmas. And so as we drive in
with our daughter,
it's been a tradition. We sing the 12 days of Christmas, and by the end, they're too close together. We're just ripping through the 12 days of Christmas, and it's just hilarious.
Yep. Yeah, although this year...
Not very musical.
This year, we all decided that we did the best we've ever done.
I think from Geesa laying down, we did pretty well.
Pretty well.
Swanson swimming is where it kind of broke us.
You have a hard time telling between the swans.
All the birds look the same.
So we did the 12 days of Christmas into the restaurant, and they did things a little different this year at this resort. They sort of served family-style dinner. In the past, it's been buffets for the most part. And they served family-style with a carving station for the meat and a dessert buffet. So we knew we were going off plan for that meal, and we also knew that Christmas Day, we have a tradition as well. Little easier tradition. First of all, we get our stockings that have treats in them.
Yeah.
And we have sandwiches.
For lunch. Kind of and dinner, yeah.
And dinner. And usually, in the morning, hot chocolate.
Yeah.
You usually have a cinnamon roll.
Did not this year.
No, you chose not to.
Yeah.
So we usually have a sweet breakfast and then sandwiches.
And that's the thing about tradition is that as you approach these very tradition-laden holidays, they're all about food, family, and fun. For some of us, the food is here, the family, and the fun. And, in past years, fun was way down on the list.
So we headed to our buffet Christmas Eve, knowing that we were going to eat off plan. And I made sure that there was food for all of us to eat. Our daughter is very picky, so I made sure there was food for her. And I cannot eat gluten, have been off gluten for 12 years. So there had to be food for me as well. And this had everything.
Yeah.
So what did we have?
Well, there was a salad with actual green stuff on it, which I like salad now, which, 12-year-old Meek wouldn't be able to believe if he heard it right now.
Yeah, there was the soup and salad course.
And the soup was good. I didn't eat all of the soup because I was trying to save some room. And there was a charcuterie or something that was, it was all right.
Oh, well.
I don't love that kind of thing that much.
Yeah, me and my daughter get into that. So, I had some of that, and, There
was a whipped goat cheese spread that I was like, that might have spoiled my whole dinner. It was I just absolutely hate goat
There were
cheese.
rolls. That was for the rolls.
Oh, right, yeah.
Did you eat any rolls?
I had two.
Yeah. I couldn't eat the rolls, so I really focused on the charcuterie and the salad.
Yeah.
because those were what I could eat. And then we went to the carving station.
Yeah, the ham I thought was a little overcooked.
Oh, it was a little dry, but it had a pineapple mango chutney or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely not on plan, but oh boy, it made the ham work. I had plenty of that.
Yeah, it was okay. But they had a prime rib station,
Ooh.
and that was really good. And ate quite a bit of that.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I did differently this year was that I ate more meat because, number one, my body just wants more meat. I guess that's the primary reason. My body wants more meat. And I also mentally want to prioritize some protein even on an off
Yeah,
meal.
absolutely. Because, I mean, if I just skipped the meat, I would have eaten twice as much dessert. And the truth is, the desserts in this dessert buffet.
Okay, that's what he says. That's what he says. That's what my daughter agreed to. But the buffet had an ice cream sundae bar, if nothing else. So I knew that I could go into it and have some ice cream. And actually, my blood sugar, my body does pretty well with ice cream. So I knew that was there. But I am not kidding you when I say that they had 8 gluten-free dessert options. They had different creme brulees and puddings and mousses, and that's unheard of. Like, I have never, usually I don't have any dessert at these because there isn't anything that I can eat. And so I did have quite a few desserts, although the ones that didn't, there were a couple I didn't eat all of. I had a couple bites and not great. I didn't even touch the sundae bar because I had the other desserts. So for me, the dessert bar was obviously a highlight.
Yeah, for me, it was a disappointment. But what was amazing is because we're going to talk about this in a future video, but there's a certain skill in this. And one of the things that I found was it was very easy for me to just stop eating any one of these desserts after a bite. If it wasn't up to it had to be chef's kiss excellent for me to bother with.
That is huge because I've learned that too through my proper human diet. I know mine started with time restricted eating, and there's this idea of is the food window worthy? And between my palate changing and sort of having that distinction, I agree. It is much easier to just be like, stop. This isn't doing it for me.
Yeah, and it may sound kind of crazy. I know past me would have said there's no stopping eating any dessert once I start.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't even, I didn't even actually think about it. I just stopped eating it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were done with that day.
Yep, and then we woke up the next morning.
Woke up the next morning with a bunch of traditional things that we like to have.
Oh my gosh, so I didn't have you get me a hot chocolate this year.
No.
I was like, I like cold brew now. It's a new thing. And Starbucks has a cold brew, like a fancy vanilla cold brew. I always have mine black because I'm usually in the clean fasting. And so I was like, this is my chance to try the vanilla cold brew. So you brought that home for me. Now, I will say I drank almost all of it, but it didn't taste that great. It tasted kind of fake. The vanilla was...
because of the syrupy
The
stuff
syrup
they put
tasted fake. So that is something I will not do again.
Yeah.
Period.
And I brought home hot chocolates for me and my daughter, and I drank mine. It was fine. It was good. Sometimes Starbucks makes it with love, and sometimes they don't. And if they don't make it with love, it's not that great. It's just warm milk with a little bit of brown coloring in it. So, yeah, but it was fine. And then we had chocolate chip pancakes.
I made chocolate chip pancakes, my daughter's request, and I made a keto version.
Yep.
It was
good. It was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, you said you probably wouldn't do those again.
I wouldn't bother with it. Once you put the syrup on it, it's definitely not keto. And
that is true.
But I didn't have that much of it.
No.
Because I wanted to be hungry for lunch for the sandwiches, which is something I don't get very frequently, and so I wanted to be able to have that.
Yeah, those were good.
And they were. And the stockings, I had my peanut butter cups and my chocolate-covered pretzels, which I did not eat all of. No. I didn't even eat most of them.
I did not eat all of my stocking candy either. I had, I think I had one peanut butter tree, and I had chocolate marshmallow Russell Stover Santa or something like that. And I've got, I didn't eat it all.
Did we eat ice cream for dessert? or for dinner?
We did have ice cream for dinner that night.
Cream for dinner.
That was planned as well.
Now that I can get behind. That was good. I loved it. I ate all of it.
Well, and this is one of those things for me that I've experimented with. And with my CGM, it's probably the best dessert I can have for my blood sugar. I don't seem to have bad results from it. Now, that doesn't mean I'm having it every day, although I wish I could or would. But it's a pretty good choice for me. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we had ice cream.
And then before bed, I had Alka-Seltzer. And then in the middle of the night, I had a snack on a couple of Tums.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were kind of a fruit flavored ish. Mm-hmm. Didn't love them.
Would you do them again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I had to.
Yeah.
So it was very clear that my body is like, yeah, Eric, don't do that.
Yet I want to pause because this Christmas, even with those planned meals, planned treats, mm-hmm. it was far more restrained than past holidays. Far more.
Yep. And we had planned it going in.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew exactly what we were getting into. And we also had a plan for the day after.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that plan was don't eat until dinner.
Yeah.
So I did basically a 24-hour fast coming straight out of it.
What's interesting for me, I thought I would fast longer. Yet, because I hadn't had sufficient protein the day before, I was actually legitimately hungry midday. So I did do my normal 2 meals a day. Yet it was pretty much on plan.
Yeah. I had no stomach hunger per se that day because I was like still kind of feeling ishy from the food I'd had the day before. I have way more sensitive guts than she does.
Yeah.
She does never have those problems.
No, neither did I. I've got my Grandma Norma's.
Yeah.
It can take anything.
Yeah.
Except gluten.
Yeah. So it wasn't hard for me to do a 24-hour fast. I don't fast very frequently, and I don't do time-restricted eating much. But I did it. And then the next day I got up and I had a little bit of eggs and then didn't eat that much that day because I still was kind of recovering. And it took me a good 3 or 4 days to finally, and I basically did beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, which was my plan.
Yep.
Just come out of it and go straight into the more restrictive phase of it. And the thing was, I wanted to because I know from experience that it works and it helps my body heal and recover. Now, looking forward to next Christmas, I'm like, was all of that worth the few days of discomfort? I don't think so. Mm. I think next year I'll probably cut back to a few very select treats. And if we do the buffet thing, I don't think I'll probably have the desserts there. I'll just load up on the meat and salad and call that my cheat day.
And this is all part of the experimenting and seeing what you can tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting though, because there isn't this huge judgment. There isn't this huge, I got to get back on track. There's just this wanting to get back on track and knowing that it is doing your body good.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a completely different situation than any other diet we've done in the past.
Yeah, for me, carnivore is extremely powerful. I don't think it's my long-term thing. I think hetivore is probably closer to where I'm going to land. But as a corrective to a cheat day, it's amazing because having gone from IBS, acid reflux, high blood pressure, lots of anxiety, constant bloating, I mean, a whole bunch of list of things, and then going to feeling fit and great. Well, now I know it's possible. And when I start to ease off of that, I go, wait a minute, I don't want to go there. Mm-hmm. That's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like we're 6 days out. Is that what we're 6 days out from Christmas, and we both feel recovered. We both feel on track. We have been doing triple B&E, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for the last 6 days, and we're gonna have some pork tonight. Little pork tenderloin. Getting crazy. But as we said, we're both feeling really good at this point.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Powered by meat.
Powered by meat and butter. For me, that's another video I'll talk about. My butter experiments.
So how did you deal with the holidays? Did you do your carnivore, your keto absolutely to the letter all the way through? Or did you allow yourself, like I saw Dr. Barry confessed.
Oh, yes. Oh,
He
my
had
gosh.
some sort of broccoli salad thing. Totally blew
That's it.
everything out of the water with one bite of broccoli. I can't imagine choosing broccoli on a day where I was going to allow myself some sort of cheat.
I hate broccoli. I tried to like broccoli. I couldn't.
Remember when they told us that we should eat broccoli, but never put butter on it because that will give you a heart attack instantly?
Oh, my gosh.
And it was the butter we should have had without broccoli on it.
Go figure. Go figure.
All right.
All right. So, yes, we would love to hear about your holidays and your recovery if you had any, or if you stayed on plan. That is awesome. So let us know in the comments and like and subscribe.